Welcome back, everyone. I'm here and I hope you're all doing well, because we've got something today that is going to make your jaw drop. I've got some of the best posts from our Best of Redditor updates. As per usual, I'll be reading you the posts, giving you my opinions, and I hope you do the same down below in the comments. And without much further ado, let's jump right into it. The original OP is U Silver Salt 7600, posted to our marriage, and the tagline is, "My wife asked for an open marriage. She is angry at my reaction. I need advice." We've been married 5 years. No kids, both 30, both professionals, was happy. I thought she was too. Things have been tense between us lately and I'm not sure why. Then she sits me down for a talk this past Tuesday. I thought she was finally going to tell me what was bothering her. Instead, she gave me a "we're still young and we can try new things" speech, then asks for an open marriage. I was not prepared for that and I was just stunned. I couldn't come up with anything to say. I was just shocked at the request. I think she was encouraged and kept selling it to me. By the time she paused for a response, I had gotten my head together. I was pissed, but kept completely calm and told her in no uncertain terms that I was not okay with this. We went back and forth for a little bit and the conversation began getting angry, so we both agreed to put it on the shelf for later when we were calm. You could reach out and touch the bad energy in the house after that. We spoke again last night and it didn't go well. She was really selling it hard, talked down my objections, called me jealous and controlling, and a bunch of other things I probably shouldn't repeat. It really blew up when I finally agreed to it, but did it in a very nasty way. She took the win, though, and said it will make our marriage stronger. I told her no. This ends with us divorced. She was instantly angry again, and asked why I would say that. I told her this goes one of two ways. She will hook up with other men, and I'll hate her for it. And even if that doesn't happen, I'll start dating and meet a woman that wants to have a monogamous relationship with me, and I'll leave you for her. 100%. She completely lost it at that point, threw a glass at me, cursed me out so loud the neighbours came to see what was going on. I told her if she gets this angry because I'm not okay with my wife fucking other men, maybe we should skip all the BS and separate right now. That's where this is going anyway. I was furious at this point. I grabbed my phone, car keys, and left. She was still screaming at me as I drove away. So now I'm at the Holiday Inn. I went to the liquor store next door and bought a bottle of Knob Creek and was up half the night drinking it by the pool on ice from a styrofoam cup. Then walked up to the room and passed out. I woke up an hour ago and have been sitting in the room thinking over my whole fucking life and where it went wrong. She has called more than 20 times, but I have nothing to say to her right now. And even if we did talk, where do we even begin to fix this? Can this be fixed? Is going back to her even a good idea? I don't even see what good can come of it. Maybe it really is time to be talking to lawyers. We've always gotten along so well, I am at a loss at what to do next. I don't want a divorce, but she's asking for something I can't give. Any advice is appreciated. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. You say you've gotten along so well in the past, but you're also very blasé about her throwing shit at you, it seems to me. Have you really? Is this the first time she's gotten abusive with you? A glass to the face could seriously hurt you. Is this the first time she screamed insults at you? If yes, then maybe this is a sign of a mental health crisis, and maybe with professional help it could get better. But if, as I suspect, she's displayed these behaviours before, then you should leave her. OP. No, nothing like this. She has a bad temper, but has never done anything physical. Commenter 2. An open marriage needs 2 enthusiastic yeses. I agree with other people. She met someone she wants to fuck, or is already fucking them. If it isn't that, she would have come to you at least once with specific things she feels like she's missing. Like, I want you to go down on me more. If she asked repeatedly and you never did it, I guess I could see asking to be open without a person in mind, but just feeling unfulfilled. But you didn't suggest it was anything like this. OP. I was thinking along these lines myself. We are, or were, I guess, pretty active sexually. 3 to 4 times a week, and sometimes all night. There is nothing I wouldn't do for her or to her if she wanted it. This just came up out of the blue. A week ago, I thought we were doing great. 3 to 4 times a week and sometimes all night, and she still asked for an open marriage? That detail right there tells you everything. This isn't a woman who felt neglected in the bedroom. This is a woman who already had someone specific in mind. And the commenter hit it right on the head. If something was missing, you bring it up. You say, I want more of this, I want less of this. You don't skip straight to, hey, let's sleep with other people. That's not a conversation about marriage, that's a green light request. There's additional information from the OP after comments. OP. Just answered one of her calls. She's crying and apologising. She wants to sit down and talk. I have a splitting headache and hangover and need a shower. Then I'll go see where things stand with her. The editor's note. OP has tried to make an edit onto his original post, but it was locked, so he made a separate post. Update number 1, April 11th, 2026, same day, 9 hours later. My wife asked for open marriage. She's angry at my reaction. I need advice. Previous thread was locked for some reason. My wife asked for an open marriage. She's angry at my reaction. I need advice, our marriage. I went home and we spoke for a few hours. You guys were right. There is someone else, someone she works with. She said she hasn't done anything yet but wants to. He's in an open marriage, or so she says. I wonder if his wife knows that. Anyway, even after all that has happened, she still wouldn't let go of it. She said I will never even know it's happening. She won't let it interfere with our lives. Does she seriously think that makes it okay? She actually said this would make her a better partner. She said she still loves me and wants to be with me. I was just looking at her, wondering who the hell this person is and what happened to my wife. I told her there is a word for that, and she has lost her mind if she thought I'd tolerate it. I told her she's chosen him, and now we're done. I told her I'd contact her next week to discuss details. I picked up more of my stuff and went back to the hotel. Our finances are mostly separate, and the house is a rental, thank God. I froze the joint credit cards and the joint savings. Is there anything else I need to do? I still can't fucking believe this has happened. 8 years together, 5 married, and it's completely destroyed in one day over pure selfishness. I'm going to finish that bottle and hope tomorrow will be better. I doubt it, but at least it won't be worse. And there it is. 8 years. 5 of them married, and it's gone in one day. Not because of a fight, not because of growing apart slowly, but because she walked into a room with a fully formed plan involving a specific co-worker and thought her husband was just going to go along with it. The "I'll never let it interfere with our lives" line. That's not reassurance. That's a preview of how she was planning to run this. Like a side project. He wasn't a partner in her eyes at that point, he was an obstacle. And credit where it's due, he saw it clearly, called it by its name, and left. Alright, let's see what the Reddit comments had to say about all of this. Relevant comments. Comment 1. Tell the guy's wife he's definitely cheating. OP. Probably, yeah. Sounds like the kind of BS men say to get a woman in bed. Commenter 2. You should mess with her a bit. 1. Call the other wife on speakerphone in front of her. Ask her if the marriage is open. Then call her parents and tell them that your marriage is ending and thank them for accepting you into the family. And then tell them you're sorry your wife chose her affair partner over her husband. Put her in a corner she can't get out of without telling the truth. Then let her know he chose someone that just wants in her pants and that she threw her marriage away for nothing. Check your cell phone records for the number of calls and texts between them. OP. Not getting involved in that whole mess. I don't know who this guy is or who his wife is, and to tell you the truth, I don't care. To hell with them. Yeah, I am going to call them today. That is a great way to do it. Thanks for that idea. I don't care about controlling any kind of narrative. I don't much care what her friends think. Family either, really, but they do deserve an explanation. So no fault state. Doesn't matter what she did or why she did it. So here, phone records and what she did or didn't do mean nothing. Additional comments from OP after responding in the first update. OP. Just to answer some questions, I know drowning myself in Kentucky's finest isn't healthy. I don't care. I won't be able to sleep tonight without it. For what it's worth, I thought I was lucky to have her. Now I wish I'd never met her. The conversation today started civil and even pleading on her part. It ended in hostility because of course it did. Something that begins in misery tends to end there. You know, I think I really hate her now. Tuesday morning, I kissed her when I got home from work. If you told me where I'd be 4 days later, I wouldn't have believed it. I don't know who the guy is, and to tell you the truth, I don't care. It doesn't change anything. I'm just done. Done with all of it. You guys think she will want to come back? No fucking way. If I was her, I'd never be able to look me in the eye after this. Woke up around 6:30 this morning, got violently sick. Spent 5 minutes kneeling before the porcelain throne. Felt like total shit. Took a long hot shower. Still felt sick. Room spinning. Then I realised I hadn't eaten anything since Friday morning. Walked across the street to Denny's, had a great breakfast, and now working on my second pot of coffee. I feel a little better. I turned my phone back on, obviously because I'm typing this post on it. She texted and left a VM. Didn't read, didn't listen, don't care. I'm reading through everyone's advice. I am so grateful to everyone for the advice and support. In the last thread too. I sent an email to work requesting leave. I can't do my job if I'm distracted or not 100% focused, and I'm just not. I made a list of family law practices to call tomorrow. According to the law officers of Google, I should be okay. House is rented with only a few months left. We had a joint savings we both contributed to for a down payment on a house. Well, that isn't going to happen. We'll split that, I guess. The rest? Who knows? She has her salary, retirement, and debt. I have mine, all separate. Someone sent a message and asked if I was worried she might see this. She might. This isn't my real Reddit name, but the details are pretty obvious, so maybe she will. If you know who you are, do see this, I don't give a damn. I don't want to know about you or what you do. I'm done. Enjoy your bright future of reckless promiscuity, and I hope you find it's worth the price you just paid for it. I called her, folks. She's there, and she has already told them what she wanted them to know. I knew right away when her mom said this was a misunderstanding and we can work it out. It didn't get any better from there. The upshot is, if she's there, she's not home, so I can go get more of my stuff. OP responds to a comment about his wife's mother in the phone conversation. OP: her mom thinks my wife just has a crush on someone that she hasn't done anything about, and I flipped out. Mom thinks my reaction is unreasonable. She would be right if that were the truth. I told her my wife isn't telling her the truth, and this isn't a rough patch. This is the end. I recorded our conversation yesterday afternoon. I told her mom if she wants to listen to it, I'll send it. OP's final comment for this original and update posts. OP: I wanted to thank everyone for the advice, encouragement, and sometimes the laughs. I was in a really dark place, and you all helped me when I needed it. I am very grateful. Hopefully I will have representation lined up tomorrow. I have narrowed down the list to 3 different practices. I hope I can consult with all 3 tomorrow. My wife and her mother wanted to meet me this week and talk things over. I told them we'd talk about it. I am shifting gears and trying to be reasonable. It might make things go smoother. I'll only go if a lawyer agrees. This will be my last update for a while. The shock, anger, and self-pitying time has passed. Now it's time to be clear-eyed and to follow the process to whatever end it takes us. The last 48 hours have been the worst. Thank you all for making it more bearable. OP on if his mother-in-law knows the full story on the open marriage and his wife's thoughts. OP: not yet. My goal is to hear them out and maybe come to some agreements on separation. I seriously doubt the open relationship demand was discussed, and I haven't sent her anything. Thinking back on the totality of the conversation, I don't think she meant the marriage would be open for me. What set her off was the notion that I'd be dating another woman to replace her. Plus, other comments. I think she meant for this to be one-sided. Maybe I'm overthinking. I didn't really hear her out. Doesn't matter now anyway. No is still no. Well, in all fairness, she, editor's note, OP's wife, never actually said anything like that. She did go on about how her having freedom would benefit me and us. She didn't really try to sell me on the idea of me having freedom. She did get very angry when I said I'd be dating to replace her. Was she mad at the replacing or the dating? She was really mad at the no. Like I said, just a thought I had. And it's a moot point now anyway. Update number 2, April the 15th, 2026, 4 days later. Just an update. I'm moving back home today. I have a lawyer, and she has drafted an in-home separation agreement, basically separating our finances. I met with her and mother-in-law last night, and we talked it all over. She is still insisting nothing has happened between her and the other guy. She regrets the open marriage suggestion and is promising full transparency on phone and iPad. She is saying everything someone who is trying to save their marriage should. She promised to find a new job if I want. She seems sincere. She told mother-in-law the truth, that she asked for the open marriage. I guess she knew I would if she didn't. Her mother said she wasn't raised that way. She really seems sincere, which makes it hard to reconcile with the way she went absolutely batshit crazy last Friday when I refused to agree to the open marriage. I've agreed to counselling. The lawyer is still preparing a divorce petition that can be filed at any time. I've made it clear that we are not okay, that I have one foot out of the door. If this marriage can be saved, she needs to be the one to do it. I'll meet her part of the way, but she will need to come most of the way. And I will never agree to any poly nonsense. Not what I signed up for. I told her plainly, if that is what she wants, let's save each other a lot of time and effort and tell my lawyer to file. Am I making a mistake? This doesn't commit me to anything, right? The exit door is still open and the path to it is clear. Okay, here's the thing. I understand why he went back to her. He loved her. And 5 years of marriage doesn't just evaporate because she messed up. The counselling, the conditions, the lawyer on standby, it's not weakness. It's actually someone trying to be thorough before they burn it all down. But the she promised full transparency line is already making me nervous. Because you know what full transparency after the fact means. It means she had time to clean up everything she didn't want him to see. Let's keep reading. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. You don't go from 0 to 100 like that. Maybe nothing physical has happened, but something definitely has. Have you seen interactions, texts, etc. between them? OP. No, and that concerns me. She has promised full transparency with electronics, but the soonest that can happen is tonight. It would be easy to sanitize everything if she hasn't already. I'll never know for sure, and that bothers me a lot. Commenter 2. One more thing. I don't know where you two stand in children, but be careful of her baby trapping you. and get a post-nup. OP. The lawyer said a post-nup would be a waste of time for us. No assets to protect other than a joint savings account we both contribute to. We have our own cards and bank accounts and 401ks. How was the wife's reaction when the meeting took place? OP. She was very apologetic, crying through most of it. She said hurting me was the last thing she wanted. She swore up and down on a stack of Bibles that nothing happened. Only flirting. And then he, the other guy, suggested they go further, and that he was in an open marriage and how happy they were with it, and all that. She was enamored with the idea, and with him, and here we are. She didn't think I was really leaving her until she came home from her parents' house on Sunday and saw more of my stuff was gone. Then the lawyer contacted her after the retainer was paid, and she just lost it. She knew it was for real. Or so she says. Her mother is trying to smooth the waters and get you both talking to each other and not yelling at each other. I'm back home. She's at her parents' house. She's coming home in a little while. I'll be recording everything she says, plus separate bedrooms for now. She says she's willing to do anything. Full transparency. Commenter 3. So she did have an emotional affair at the very least if she was enamored with him. And her getting so upset that she threw a glass at you? Seems like there may have been more there that she's letting on. I read that there's an open device policy now, but everything will be gone. Is she still going to be working with him? OP. Her finding other employment is one of the 3 conditions to even attempt to save this. We have a counselling session on Friday. I mean to discuss all 3 conditions in detail then. Commenter 3. What are the other 2 conditions? OP. Complete and total honesty, all details, every message and conversation. If I find out 6 months from now a detail was withheld, I walk. Full access to phones, iPad and laptop. Update number 3. April the 17th, 2026, 2 days later. My wife asked for an open marriage. She is angry at my response. Last update. This will be the last update on this. I'm done. I'm just completely done. This reconciliation attempt couldn't even make it to the end of day 3. I am not going to be giving exact details. I'm sure you will all understand reasons. I found out 2 things, both of which she lied straight to my face about as late as last night. I've seen her iPhone and iPad communications. Nothing there to make you think that they have done more than flirting, as bad as that is. Nothing since this all blew up last week. They have another way to communicate, and I found it out. That led to the second thing I found. She works in an 8 to 5 Monday to Friday office job. I'm a firefighter stroke EMT, and I work a 24/48 rotating shift. So 3 days a week, I'm away from home for 24 hours. I'm sure you guys can take those 2 facts and work the rest out. At this point, believing she was not in a physical relationship with this man would be an act of willful stupidity, which it probably was all along. I cancelled our marriage counselling appointment this afternoon. I called the lawyer and told her to proceed. Soon-to-be ex-wife, now I can really call her that, will be served next week or the week after. I sent the guy that owns the house a letter of non-renewal for the lease. Then I rented a storage space and moved everything I want to keep into it. Most of it was still boxed from last weekend. Then I went back to the house and waited. When she got home about 2 this afternoon, I confronted her with what I had. Her face turned white. You can imagine how the conversation went. She was emotional, but even then she wouldn't tell me the truth. The closest she got was saying along the lines of, if anything has happened, it's over now. I told her I was done. Done with the lies, done with the BS. I told her the paperwork will be filed, and she will be served when it's ready. I was expecting more of her famous temper. Maybe she is just done as well. The last bit of the conversation, she was in tears. She said she knows she fucked everything up, and doesn't even know why she did it. She finally apologized for losing her temper last Friday. She doesn't know why she did that either. She apologized for all of it. Neither of us is happy with this ending, but it can't end any other way when there is no truth and no trust. So I'm back at the Holiday Inn just for tonight. No bourbon this time. I'm miserable. But I knew, as much as I wanted to save it, this wasn't going to end any other way. This is just what had to be done. Thanks everyone for all the advice, encouragement, and criticism. In the end, you were all pretty much right. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Did you notify the other man's wife? I doubt it really is an open marriage. That's most likely a lie the guy told your soon-to-be ex-wife. If you have copies of the other means of communication, share them with her. She deserves to know. No, but once my paperwork is all in process, I'm thinking I'll print everything and add a thumb drive with the audio from the conversations I recorded, along with a letter explaining everything, and FedEx it to her. Commenter 2. They have another way to communicate and I found it out. I realize you're being intentionally vague here. If in the future you have more liberty to reveal their underground form of communication, you revealing it would help the knowledge base of Redditors. I had suggested that she was going to purchase a burner phone to work around the devices she opened up for you to see, and that you should check your Wi-Fi router management app. If this is accurate, a simple Y or N would suffice. Thanks. I'm glad your sense of self-respect is healthy. That's not all that common around here. OP. I found evidence she had a second phone. When checked, Wi-Fi usage and saw it on the system at night, and an unknown device on nights I was working last week. It was a bit more complex than that, but that is the gist of it. Commenter 3. So he had his device on the Wi-Fi too when you weren't there, and she still wouldn't admit to anything? How long had it been going on? OP. That's kind of an oversimplified explanation. I left a lot of detail out because some of it might make an issue in the divorce. Probably not, but not taking the chance. Let's just say something happened that made me think there might be a second device. There was. Someone in the comments suggested checking Wi-Fi, and I did, but I already knew there was another device somewhere. Commenter 4. Checking Wi-Fi was a good idea. Does it appear everything started around the time of the original conversation? Or do you think it had been going on for a while before she hit you up with the open marriage request? OP. I think it started the day before it first came up. The Tuesday 2 weeks back. Don't know for sure. It could have been going on for a long time, but I doubt it. Commenter 5. Did you let her mother know what you found? OP. Yeah, I sent her an email explaining everything in detail. I asked her to check in on soon-to-be ex-wife. She wasn't in a good frame of mind when I left yesterday. Additional responses from OP after reading comments here. OP. Just woke up. I asked her not to call or text me. Of course, she did several times last night. I kept the phone on silent, but today I think I'm turning it off altogether. It's weird, but I feel a little better today. Lighter, maybe. Now the decisions are all made, it's like putting down a heavy load you were carrying. I'm going to go for a run, get some chow at Denny's for the last time. I've eaten more Denny's food this last week than all the years of my life combined. After all that, I'm getting out of town for a few days. Maybe drive up to see my brother and his family. He knows what has been happening and said I needed to come up and go fishing with him and my nephew. I think he's right. Still at my brother's house. She was at the engine house today looking for me. I guess if she was the sort to take a hint or take no for an answer, none of us would be here reading about it. Comment 6. I'm a little puzzled why the wife pushed for a one-sided open marriage if she was already cheating both emotionally and physically. Why not just keep cheating? What advantage did she think she'd get from forcing an unwanted one-sided open marriage on her husband? That last comment actually raises a great point. Why ask if you're already doing it? My guess? She wanted his blessing so she could stop feeling guilty. A yes from him meant that she wasn't the villain anymore. He'd be complicit. Smart move, actually. Terrible human being move, but smart. Anyway, guys going fishing, we're done here. Let's move on to the next one. The OP is you throw RA attrition error, posting in R true off my chest. And the tagline is, my sister slept with my boyfriend and I sent her a really cruel message that I don't regret at all. My sister slept with my boyfriend and I sent her a really cruel message that I don't regret at all. Sorry, but this post will have a lot of bad energy and I'm terrible at writing in English, so if anyone is going to read the post, I'm sorry for all the grammatical errors that are likely to be in the post. So a few days ago, I, F25, found out that my sister, 24F, has been sleeping with my boyfriend, now ex, 25M. We dated for 3 years. For 1 year or probably more. They always had a close relationship, but I obviously took it as something innocent. I don't like video games, but my sister does, so they talked a lot by text, and I thought it was about video games they like until I found out that no. They talked a lot about their secret dates while I was working and in college. I found pictures, videos, and a lot of other disgusting things in the chats between my ex and my sister. My pathetic sister found pleasure in asking my pathetic ex all the time if she's smarter or prettier than me. She even compared our private parts. What the hell? We're both pretty. She's actually thinner and prettier than me, and even if she's an introvert, she has her group of friends, so I really don't understand where she got so much venom towards me. Our parents never compared us or anything like that, and she was always the one asking my ex to compare both of us in the chats. The first thing I did was throw all my ex-boyfriend's things out of the apartment. I insulted him in 1,000 ways, and I kept the PC that I gave him for Christmas. I didn't speak a single word to my sister for over a week, and she didn't contact me like the coward she is until yesterday, when she sent me a message trying to justify herself by saying that it was a mistake. Yes, a mistake that lasted more than a year, and that I should forgive her because we're sisters, and blah blah blah. At one point I thought, should I be the mature person in the situation who doesn't let resentment speak for her? But then I realized that I've never been that kind of person. I took my phone and wrote a long message to my sister that I would love to write here, but I'm sure that I would break the rules since I called her out in every possible way and wrote a lot of personal things too. I told her how much of a failure she is and how she has always envied me, and that's why she needed to feel what it's like to be me for a second of a sad life. She sent me a voice message crying and saying she's in a very weak moment mentally, but she's still with him, laughing my ass off, and I shouldn't make her feel worse, and that she regrets it. I just reacted to her message with this crying laughing emoji, and I didn't even hear the long voice message until the end. Was it a low thing to attack her with all her flaws? Yes. But it's lower to betray your sister and believe that she's going to forgive you just because you share blood with her. Honestly, I feel really good after sending her that message and feel that it was therapeutic to take out everything I feel to give closure to that. By the way, I've never used a PC for gaming, but I'm looking for tutorials on YouTube about how to download The Sims. I helped my sister in every moment of her life. I literally fought for her when she was being bullied during high school. I helped her thousands of times to make friends. I even accompanied her everywhere she wanted. It is a betrayal that really hurts, and I will never forgive. Never. It hurts me that she slept with someone I loved, but it hurts me a lot, all the things I read in those chats, how she enjoyed watching him compare me to her, or how she asked him about personal things about our relationship just to laugh at it. She's dead to me, and my parents know it. I don't even care if I'm a bad person like them. This is something I can't forgive, and I don't even feel bad for my reaction. Okay, so I just want to pause here for a second. A year. A whole year. These two were essentially building a secret relationship on the side, while OP was working, going to college, and genuinely loving both of them. And the cherry on top? The sister was the one initiating those comparisons. She wanted to know if she was prettier, smarter. She was competing with her own sister in the most deranged way possible. That is a decision made repeatedly for over 12 months. And look, was the message cruel? Maybe. But OP, you didn't start this fire, you just refused to pretend it wasn't burning. Let's look at the comments. TSS Caramel. At least your ex showed he was a piece of shit before you got married, so now you have the opportunity to find someone who actually appreciates you. Sounds like an upgrade if you ask me. OP. To be honest, the relationship was already going bad in some ways, although that doesn't justify what he did, so I don't feel too bad for breaking up. I took out the trash. My username is Meh. Going bad is still never an excuse to cheat. If he had the slightest bit of respect for you as a human being, then he would just break up. Good riddance. People often say, how you lose them is how you got them, so I wouldn't be surprised if she came crying to you one day about him cheating on her. I think I'm over it, 2405. Good for you. Perpetrator only makes themselves a victim when they wanted to. Please inform your parents of the event to not let her play victim more and throw you under the bus and back the bus to hit you a few more times. OP. Thanks. They already know everything. Neither of them are on her side, and they respect that I want to cut off all contact with my sister. My parents are really strict, so I think they're going to cut contact with her too, but that's their decision. I don't want to get into that and cause any problems. The message. Same day. Thank you all for the nice comments you left me. Many wrote to me with tips for The Sims, and I'm really grateful. Thanks for the game recommendations. Even though I'm really bad at playing action game, the last action game I played was Resident Evil 4 on the PS2 a long time ago, and it was because I had a crush with Leon Kennedy. He would never cheat on me, by the way. As a token of appreciation, and also because I like it when the OP uploads the whole gossip, I will put here half of the message I sent my sister. The message I sent her was really long, and I cut out the parts where I talk about very private things or when I insulted her to not make the post too uncomfortable because I was really hurt and angry at the moment, and I talked about many personal things in the text. I will put the copy of the message in the end if someone talks Spanish. I'm sorry if it sounds weird in English. I did my best to translate it, and I had to remove lots of parts. I'm not interested in hearing any of your excuses. I believed you when a problem she had with her ex-friend group happened because I really trusted that you would never do something like that, but now I understand why everyone leaves you alone and you deserve it. What you did to me is a shit, and you know it, but you didn't care because you spent a year being the whore of X's name, without any shame. And now that I found out everything, you went days without talking to me because you're a coward, and on top of that, you still don't care about what you did to me. You're only talking to me because Dad probably stopped talking to you and you're running out of money, so you want to fix this shit, so he gives you money again. You were always an asshole, but don't you think it's a lot to be my boyfriend's second woman? How little respect you have for yourself. We're sisters. I don't even know what's going on in your head because I don't understand what's wrong with you. Girl, I read all the messages between you and you even started comparing our bodies. You're sick. You know that I never did anything for you to do this to me and I loved you. But everything turned out really well for you because he's with you. So enjoy that feeling and the love you two have for each other for now because you are going to be really lonely later and you're going to go back to your cave. But this time, I am not going to be there to pity you like every time I did before. Stay with him. There's nothing that interests me less than fighting for an idiot who is surely going to leave you, but let me make it clear to you that you're not going to hear about me again. This dies here. We are not sisters anymore. If I see you on the street, then I'm going to cross to the opposite sidewalk to not see you.
I'm not interested in hearing any of your excuses. I believed you when that problem with her ex-friend group happened because I genuinely trusted that you would never do something like this. But now I understand why everyone leaves you alone, and you deserve it. What you did to me was messed up, and you know it. But you didn't care because you spent a whole year being my boyfriend's side girl without any shame. And now that I found out everything, you went days without speaking to me because you're a coward. On top of that, you still don't seem to care about what you did. You're only talking to me because Dad probably confronted you and you're running out of money. So now you want to fix your mess, so they'll start sending you money again. You've always been a failed loser, but doesn't it seem degrading to you to stoop so low as to become my boyfriend's second choice? Do you have so little respect for yourself? We're sisters. I honestly don't understand what's going on in your head because I truly don't understand what's wrong with you. Girl, I read all the messages between you two, and you were comparing our bodies. You're seriously sick. You know, I never did anything to deserve this from you, and I loved you so much. It worked out well for you, though, because he's with you now. So enjoy that love you two have for the moment, because afterward you'll truly end up alone and crawl back into your cave. But this time, I won't be there to feel sorry for you like I always was before.
Edit. Yes, I'm from Argentina. Oh, okay, so the original message is in Spanish, and OP translated it for us. And honestly, even through the translation, you can feel the heat in every single sentence. You're going to go back to your cave, but this time, I am not going to be there to pity you. That line hit different, because it's not just anger, it's grief. OP is mourning a sister she defended, escorted, fought for during high school bullying, and this is what she got in return. Also, OP keeping the PC and selling it later, that's what we call a strategic closure. Absolute boss move. Update 3 months later. They broke up, nobody's surprised. When all this happened, my parents scolded my sister and she got offended and didn't speak to our parents except to ask them for money. She asked them for money to buy things for her career, but then my aunt told my parents that my sister actually used that money to buy my ex some sneakers. My parents never gave her any money from that day on. She's an idiot, to be honest. My parents started to pay for us to go to a private college, and the only thing we have to do is literally study. The only thing she had to do was take her studies seriously, but she didn't. So my father got tired and hasn't sent her money for months. My ex discovered the post because he said it went viral on Facebook, and obviously he recognized the story. He contacted me to apologize and said he knows he did wrong by hurting me like that, but my sister manipulated him, and it was a total mistake. I told him he can shove his apologies in the ass. Meanwhile, my sister and I have only crossed paths a few times, but she always avoids me because she thinks I'm going to hit her. I won't. We're not going to the same career, so luckily we don't see each other too much. Anyway, a few days ago, she went to our parents' house saying that she broke up with my ex, I don't know why, and that she felt really sad and had an anxiety attack. I don't know exactly what they talked about since I wasn't there, but my mother told me that she told my sister that she knew what was going to happen when she slept with him, and my sister justified herself by saying that they're in love. So my mother and her just argued again, and my sister left. Now she doesn't talk to anyone in the family except our grandmother to ask for money. I know my sister is not going to change her bad habits, and she didn't learn anything from this. I even think she will get together with my ex again because they're just toxic with each other. But it's her life to ruin, not mine, and I don't care anymore. The bright side, I sold the PC to a guy from Reddit that saw my post, and that really saved me from having to keep paying the dues. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play The Sims much, but I prefer the extra money. My ex had told me that he wanted the PC back, but I told him that he should pay the remaining dues, and he said no. So the idiot wanted the PC for free, even though he slept with my sister. The weird side, there are YouTubers who are literally charging their subscribers to read the post or other Reddit posts in their podcasts. The fuck? At least give me a share of the profits. I know it's a boring update, and probably everyone wanted the update that was my sister begging for forgiveness and my ex suffering, but no, they are just two idiots who deserve each other, and nothing more happened. But even today, I received a message asking me for an update. Haha. Comments. Driver picks the tunes. Not even 6 months later and they break up. Oh yeah, clearly it was true love. Glad you sold the PC and dropped the dead weight from your life. Comment 1. I'm pleasantly surprised that the parents took OP's side and are giving actual consequences to the sister. How long that will last is anyone's guess though. Not surprised that they broke up, and while OP thinks they will go back, I very much doubt it. OP doesn't want the toy anymore, so sister will lose interest very quick. The sister's obsession wasn't really about the ex. It was about having what OP has. The moment OP no longer wanted him, he lost his value. That's the psychology of envy in a nutshell. It's never actually about the object. It's about the person who has it. Comment 2. The thing is, good for OP if she gets some validation and peace that they broke up. She deserves it. But I always want these kinds of trash people to stay together, simply so they don't ruin anyone else's lives. Even better when they're totally miserable, but won't leave each other. The best is when OP finds someone better, and both the ex and siblings are even more miserable. Chef's kiss. You know what? I can't even argue with this. Chef's kiss logic right here. And honestly, that last part, the best is when OP finds someone better, that's the real ending we're all rooting for. Not revenge, not drama, just OP thriving while those two clowns are stuck in each other's mess. That's the sweetest outcome of all. If you enjoyed today's story, go ahead and leave a like. It genuinely helps more than you'd think. And if you have thoughts on this one, drop them down in the comments below. Would you have sent that message? I'd love to know. I'll catch you all in the next one.